what, if anything, did you learn in the first setting for some of your guys, the game last week?
Well, I realized that they struggled. Kenneth Saul's got a new coach for a reason, but he's coached in the Big Ten, and he's in the SEC, and he's got a plan. It's just they're a little young, a little raw in a lot of areas. So what you do is you say, okay, what did we do? Right? We shot it well. Some games you're going to have that. Some games you'll get those same shots and they won't go down. Whether or not the other team's in your face or not in your face. But we shared the ball. Defensively, we picked up for each other. We had a challenge in guarding a guy that will probably lead that league in scoring again. He's a guy that can score against anybody. He could start for any team in the Big Ten or ACC. Cummings. So I thought we did a pretty good job on him, considering the number of times he tried to score. So you take those things, but you also, I found enough things that we'll go over today in our notebook work that we need to correct and get better at, because we know that the experience level of a lot of teams will be a lot higher than theirs were, so they'll play better together and play off of each other better, both on both ends of the court. So there was some good signs, but the biggest part was sharing the ball, taking good shots, and defensively not giving up easy ones.
Well, Rob Wilson was one of the first guys off the bench into the game in another 15 minutes. How do you see him fitting into this guard rotation right now?
Well, I don't worry about it. I don't. He's the first one in. He has experience, so a guy like that's going to be a little more comfortable going into a game early in the year. But it's a competitive world, and there's guys out there that want minutes, and if he wants his, he knows how to get them, like everybody else on the team does, and I never leave any doubt about that. So that's always been something that guys understand, why certain people are on the floor and how you can get on the floor. And that's the way it should be in anything in life.
Well, it got lost a little bit the other day in the great shooting effort. What did you think of Mike Bruzewicz? It seemed like he gave you a little bit of everything.
Well, that's Mike. He's, Ryan Evans, Mike Bruzewicz, Jared Berber, and those three guys who have taken over the front court at this point. They're all trying to, make their statements too with their play. And we never want people to make a statement just with your scoring. We want people to make it with rebounding, defense, passing, screening. So, we like good all-around players. And hopefully that's what they're doing right now, is getting better in all those areas.
How do you think the freshmen played on Saturday?
How do you think what?
The freshmen played.
Played well. They mixed it up, got in there and did some things that helped the team defensively and offensively. So they seem to feel a little better after the few minutes that they did get in the first half, and then what they got in the second half.
Well, Ryan Evans said the other day that Wisconsin was the first major school to offer him a scholarship, and he's a pretty loyal guy, and that meant a lot to him. What did you see in Ryan as a senior? Because I think it took up until March for him to get that offer.
Well, really, it wasn't until then that we got some footage on him, and there was a connection, needless to say, to the Big Ten, to Wisconsin, to his dad wrestled at Minnesota, his uncle wrestled here. We weren't looking at him as a wrestler. We said, oh, you know what, that guy can play basketball. He just seemed like a guy who, bright, wanted to be a player, wasn't discouraged easily, and he has to be that way because I do get on him a little bit about things, because I just think he has the potential to be a lot better. So, that's never going to change with any of the guys, but he just showed some things athletically that coaches would sit and say, okay, if we get this guy, this is what we think we can do with him, and that's what we're trying to do. We saw the potential. And he wanted to be here. It's amazing how much fun those guys can have.
Coach, we've got our Facebook question of the week, and this is from Valerie Norden.
Does that mean I have to make a face?
That's up to you, but her question is, since we've all seen your dance moves on TV, would you ever consider going on Dancing with the Stars?
Well, there's a joke going around that I was asked, and I had to turn Aaron Andrews down. We kidded about it, actually, at Andy Norris Golf Outing. Would I consider that? Well, you know, I've got a day job. I'm going to stick to that right now. And, but you know, there is an old saying about in life about how things happen and everything else, but you want to go out dancing. So I do a lot of dancing when nobody else is around the house. It certainly wouldn't be on national TV right now. I'd have to polish up a lot of moves. The best, I don't know, is Facebook limited to how many minutes you can answer a question?
I think it's 15.
So as my dad goes up to MC Hammer, and we're at one of the Final Fours, and we're in the lobby, and my dad is all lobby every year. All the coaches know him, they talk to him, he's always got jokes and stories. And MC Hammer comes walking through. He goes up to MC Hammer and throws the gauntlet down and challenges him to a dance contest right there. Or to go to some club. He said, I'll go wherever you want to go. He said, I don't think I think I got better moves than you. Well, this bodyguard comes up to my dad, goes to grab him, and we kind of discouraged the bodyguard from doing that. He's okay, he's harmless. And MC Hammer took a liking to him, but he never did dance against my dad, so he probably knew better. That's about as close to anything national that you would see from our family.
Last week you added Sam Decker as a recruit for next season. What do you think he'll contribute to the team? What do you like about him? Can you describe him as a player?
Well, you didn't read the release? That's the most I've ever said about a player, because we only offered one scholarship, so I don't know if I could remember all that. He's a player. Loves the game, and he'll fit in very nicely. But he's got to take care of his high school right now, so we never go overboard on things like that, other than the initial statement. But he's a Badger. He'll be good.
What did you like about Frank Kaminsky's game? You know, he was able to step out and hit a three. I don't know if many people probably knew a guy that big could do that. I know you've had some other big guys, but what do you like about his game? He seems pretty dynamic.
Yeah, he can shoot, he can pass. Don't let that sleepy look that he has fool you. I saw him riding his moped a couple weeks ago, and I was going to honk to wake him up. It looked like he was sleeping. And he said it's something about his eye. It's like half closed a lot of times, and I don't know exactly what it is, but it certainly doesn't keep him from finding people that are open, from hitting shots, from rebounding. And Frank's, and he's a delightful young man. He comes into the Nicholas Johnson every day ready to compete. He doesn't just come to play, he comes to compete, and that's what I like about him.
Rob, you've certainly talked over the years about efficiency, especially from point guards and valuing the ball. How much of that can be taught to a player when he comes here? How much of it does he need to have when you're recruiting him? And given Russell Wilson's efficiency on the football field, would he be a dream type point guard for you if you can get some eligibility out of him?
Yeah, you know, Russell does his thing on the field, and Jordan does his thing on the court. We've had other guys that have done similar things as Jordan on the basketball court, so it's not like Jordan's somebody that all of a sudden showed up and is a good player. and takes care of the ball or anything else. We've had point guards that have done that very well for us. At Platteville, at UWM, just, you know, it still goes back to, if that was your job when you played, you'd take care of the ball too. So, first behind the back pass I made, I'll never forget the look from Coach Rainey when I was at Chester High School. And if looks could kill, and he just said, it better get there. So, all of them did. I think I made one more. Take care of the ball, get a good shot. And I know it's a novel idea in this game, but I still like it.
Anything else for Coach? All right, thanks, Coach.